Okay, so we're back. We're just trying to cover some topics from last night's lesson, the previous lesson on. I think it was labeled like lesson charts 201 to 210, but really it was just a brief review, through the charts, and then most of the lesson was 210. So we're on that chart now, but I didn't show you this cage ladder here. So again, how to go up this in fifths, how the string shapes go up in fifths. You just skip every other letter in caged. So C, skip A, goes to G, that's a fifth. G, skip E, goes to D, that's a fifth. Or you could just use this as a ladder. You know how a ladder, you never let go of something. You always make sure you got double contacts. They say even 3 points of contact, but with the hands, you got double contact. Don't let go of this until you have this. That's kind of what the ladder is, and it helps you. C shape 3, 4, 5, A shape 5, 6. Now, why is it? And then of course up to the next string, straight up 6, 7 root G shape, and then 7 root 2 E shape. Okay, and you make your way up the ladder. Remember, the string shapes 3, 4, 5 is actually the bottom string of the C cage. Okay, so the C cage would be the part of the guitar that you play the big long C chord. Okay, now that's once it's if your chord is a long chord like the G in the G cage, the cage is only going to get shorter. So when you go to the fourth, you just collapse the cage down, collapse the slinky down, back to its small position. Okay, and we get the F, which is the fourth of C. So that's why it's tri-pentatonic. So this is the tri-pentatonic C cage. C, E shaped, and then back down to G shape. That's what the C shape is. It's the bottom three scale notes of that shape. And then going into the A shape is the bottom two scale notes of the next shape up, which is the A shape C. And then that has its own tri-pentatonic, so it's going to go 1, 4, 5. So it goes A, D, E shape. So it goes A, D, E shape. And the bottom string of that, and it's got book note isolation of that A shape, that A string shape. I point to the screen, but it doesn't look like I'm pointing to my hat, or I just like to get my finger in someone's way. I'm sorry. That's just me trying to point to the screen. So I have to make sure I do it with the pointer here, because it comes out backwards anyway. So I have to verbally say we'll go to the right or we're going to the left. If I point, it'll be the opposite of that. But as long as what I've got here is proper. So we got the Army here, right? So this hat, see, it says Army. They sell these hats in this town, and they're only $5. So I don't have to pay $15 or something for an Army hat. And I get a discount on some things, at auto parts store. But really, the Army was only 2 years and 2 months of my life, and it was about a year or two, a year preparing for it, trying to get into a good position. But other than that, I always played guitar. Even when I was at my duty station, I bought a little keyboard out there and did some playing out there. And those songs were really nice back in '89. I'll never forget those songs, Milli Vanilli, remember them? So those were the songs that were playing when I was in the service. So don't let the hat fool you. It's just I'm proud of my service. and it also reminds me of that my serenity and sanity has to do with not abusing alcohol and drugs. So it's a reminder. It's a good thing. Um, but don't let it scare you. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not a cool person. I went to college. Um, I'm not. Although I'm sorry, I can get a little like controlling or moving along too fast, because I'm trying to get the topic that we need to cover. So let's just say that let's just get back to the lesson here, and if I can, I'll catch myself if I'm going too fast. You know, so the cage ladder is good for that, and so I just wanted to show you that. That's the cage ladder. We'll minimize it so we can pull it up again. So this is not exactly the cage ladder, and I apologize that in yesterday's lesson I got a little tripped up on this. This isn't exactly the cage ladder. This is the long pattern stack. This is, as best I can. And extra notes aren't supposed to be there, okay? But just to show this full G string shape, maybe to give it some, to see where you are in that. So let's just look at that for a second. So when we have a S3XL pattern here, and this is the main pattern for starting patterns that I'm using to start patterns off of the fret nut. So the A pattern would start on the 5th because he is the 5th of A. So here's A, the real deal A. Okay. And so we'd use that long pattern 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then from there we just go up the pattern, what we can play in the first cage and into the second cage. It'll take us quickly the S4L up there. So it'll be 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. I can't move that line up. So the top line of the S3XO in the A pattern is what is it, 4, 5, 6 of A. The 5th of A is E. The 6th of A is F sharp. From there you're going to go 7. The 7th of A is going to be this G sharp here. So it's going to be a black note. Okay. Now we go into the easy pattern, which is the S4L is easy. It's just half step, whole step, and then got to warp it up, and then alias half step, whole step, and then whole step, half step. So the whole thing goes. Whoop! I didn't do that right. So anyway, it would go something like that, and then on down again. Alright, so the S3XL is good for, is going to be starting, that A shape there. Alright, now the 4th of A is E, right? Or actually it's D. The 4th of A is D. But the root position is used to start the root shape E. And the 4 could be used to start the B. If you wanted to do something in B, E is the 4th of B, so you would simply start the pattern on that 4. Like that. Okay, and then that 7 now, we got our 4 to our 7, okay, is going to be that augmented 4th there. So the 4th of B is actually D sharp. See, I went to the B. I said, oh, that's got to be, the 4th of B is like, excuse me, it's F sharp there. Alright, so first we'd have the long pattern.